Oh man, Nintendo, you're getting out of control. It is out of control, people. I was excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I'm not so sure. Hey, I'm with CY with the CY Nation. Thanks for coming back. If you're new to the channel, please click like and subscribe and hit that bell icon. Let's get into this. Nintendo, like I said, what are you doing? You're charging $10 for a demo pack. Is that where we're at now, Nintendo? Do you need the money that bad that you're going to charge $10 for a demo pack? I mean, after all, you are charging $450 for the console, which, by the way, I think is reasonable when you compare it to the other handhelds on the market and what the Nintendo offers. That's reasonable. That's fine. I personally don't have a problem with that, especially when I already own an Xbox Series X. Okay, and for some of you may have that either or a PlayStation where you paid similar money. Okay, that's fine. But then you're going to charge $10 for a demo pack? I mean, you can include that as a pack in with the system. I mean, why not go back to the days of old and include the new Mario Kart as a pack in? You know, do some good faith here, Nintendo. I mean, you used to be like the company when it came to pricing, for the most part, you know, the more budget-friendly option. Now, there have been times throughout history where game prices went off the rails, and I did my research because I had to remind myself how much games costed back then. So I took some notes and did some research. So back in the 80s, just to put this in perspective for you folks, an NES cartridge retailed anywhere between $50 to $60 and upwards to $85 depending on the title. Same went for the NES, with the most expensive game on the NES was Chrono Trigger, which retailed at $80. That was in the 90s. Okay? That's, you know, so Nintendo's done this before with the pricing, but generally across the board for most of these game manufacturers, 50 to 60 has been the standard, the norm. I think we could all agree on that. And with the higher price $70 and $80 games were the like your gold or special edition versions of that game, which gave you extra stuff. So you were paying for the extra stuff. Now you're just paying. They're expecting us to pay $80 for a base game. That's no add-ons. I'm sorry, Nintendo, but that is unacceptable. That is very unacceptable. And considering that a lot of people like myself, you know, we're paying high rent, pay high mortgages, our bills, you know, we got to feed the family and all that stuff. Make sure we have clothes on our back, clothes on our kids' back. Sometimes that income's not going to be as disposable as it once was. And the thing is, we love this hobby. We love this hobby of video games. But, you know, if it comes to the point where we just can't afford it, I myself am going to stick to my regular Nintendo Switch for a while. I have no problem with that, sitting it out for a while. Why? Well, it's already there. And two, I have a bunch of games on it I haven't played yet. So, considering the price point where the games are going to be at, no. I won't have to sit this one out, Nintendo. I'm sorry. And I think you're going to find there's going to be a lot of other people that will as well until you straighten your shit out. I mean, that's just the way it has to be, Nintendo. I mean, you can't keep doing this. I mean, you got to get your messaging straight. And this brings me to another point. When you look at services like Game Pass, for those of you that have an Xbox, or maybe you're thinking of getting an Xbox as a second console, Game Pass makes even more sense. I have Game Pass, okay? I'm paying my 1 monthly membership subscription for Game Pass Ultimate, and I get hundreds of games, including Call of Duty. I can just download and play as much as I want, and if I want to buy it, I get a discount. To me, that's a value. That's saving me money on hundreds of titles that, quite frankly, I don't have money for to dish out. Nintendo, you got to start competing with that, okay? I mean, PlayStation has PlayStation Plus. I don't own a PlayStation. If any of you do own a PlayStation and have that service, please let me know in the comments below and how you're enjoying it. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're getting the value out of that. I think we could all agree that gaming is becoming increasingly expensive. And the thing is, like I said before, we love this hobby. So why are you doing this, Nintendo? Why? Are you intentionally trying to push customers away? Because that's what will happen. That's what will happen. I mean, eventually, this is the slippery slope. If Nintendo continues forward with the $80 price point, they will rank all their other games at that price point or fluctuate, and it'll make no damn sense. And then what you'll end up seeing is, and Sony and everyone else will follow suit. Why? Because when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Like, well, if they're getting away with it, we can get away with it. And Sony did that when they cranked them up to $70 for a base game. And people bought them. So, everyone else is like, well, I guess we could do the same thing. They're getting away with it. At the end of the day, people, we're going to have to vote with our wallets on this one. And I said, like myself, I'm going to have to sit it out. I'm not doing a pre-order. Right now, all that stuff's in disarray with the tariff thing, which Nintendo came out and said tariffs have no bearing on this. So what's the issue here, Nintendo? Or you're not sure now what you want to sell the console at? You want to make it more than $450? I'll tell you this. You make that thing more than $450, you're shooting yourself in the fucking foot. Now, I don't mean to curse. I don't want to pack my videos with foul language. I just got to call it straight up. You're shooting yourself in the fucking foot. Flat out. And you don't need to. $450 is reasonable for what you're giving us hardware-wise. Just stay with that and make the games affordable. I think that's all we're asking here. And I believe a lot of you are too. But what say you? Do you feel gaming is getting expensive? Because I feel gaming's starting to get expensive. When you factor in all the peripherals, your controllers, and everything else that you buy, we're investing hundreds of dollars per generation into our hardware and software. And I'm sure for a lot of you, like myself, we're all working full-time jobs. Sometimes a single income household or a two-income household and still trying to make the ends meet. Certain things at a certain point might have to come sacrificed, because let's face it, at the end of the day, gaming is a hobby, it's a luxury. So some things may have to take a back seat, and I think what's going to end up happening is a lot of these companies are going to start to see that, people are going to be like, you know what? Nah, I got to hold off. I can't do it right now. And I think that's what they're going to run into. I know I brought up the Game Pass thing. I think that's a saving grace for Xbox because they have that service. You can pay into Ultimate and you get all the games you want that they have on there and play them as much as you want. I think that's great. And I think that's a good direction to go into. And this inadvertently could end up helping Microsoft because of that. Think about that. I mean, this could have a ripple effect, So we'll have to wait and see. Nintendo, I just hope you get your act together. But let me hear from you guys. What say you? Meet me down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And I do respond and I do read them. Anyway, take care. Have a good evening. See why we're out. Pop and smoke. Later.